This is the first of a two-part video on how I became mentally stronger. So, this is what happened. I spent days and days making a video about this topic, but apparently I had a lot to talk about because when I finished making it, it was way too long. Which is when I thought to myself, Ray, no one is going to sit there and listen to you talk for this long. So, I decided to make this into two-part series for your sake.
Yay!
In part 1, I talk about two main tips on how to become mentally stronger. There's a cute little story that goes along with the first tip, so yeah. Anyway, let's get on it. Top 5 ways to become mentally stronger. Hi guys! Today, I wanted to talk to you about 5 ways you can become mentally stronger. The 5 ways I'm about to discuss are taken directly from my experience, my personal experience, and what has actually worked for me. Right now, I am self-employed, but I used to have a high-paying corporate job a few years ago. And when I did have that, I was actually pretty good at my job. And whenever other people would talk about my job or criticize it or criticize me, I wouldn't take it personally. So I was known among my colleagues to be a honey badger. Now, I didn't know what that was. They used to call me a honey badger. At the time, I didn't know what that was, but one coworker actually explained to me what a honey badger is. So there's this badass badger, and it doesn't get affected by anything. Like a snake can come and bite it, and it'll just, it doesn't get affected by the venom. It will rip through the snake. I mean, this little dude is little, but he is fearless. You can see a video of honey badgers trying to attack a lion and the lion shuddering away because this honey badger is just vicious, And so, not that I'm vicious, I'm not. Like, if you meet me in person, I'm very mellow and easygoing and whatever. But I don't get affected by what other people say. And the reason is, I found out this truth a long time ago. I don't even remember when I found it out. I found out that people just don't care about you. And they usually just care about them. And they're usually so self-centered. And I'm not talking about being self-centered in a bad way. I'm saying they are so focused in their own world and what's happening to them, or, how other people are looking at them and experiencing life as them, that they don't truly care about how you are or what they're saying about you, So the opinions that they throw out there about you are really said not to be hurtful most of the times. It's just said because, I don't know, that's how they feel at that time about something that they're looking at, but it's not really about you. So once you understand that people don't actually care about you and they don't really spend that much time thinking about you, you don't have to worry about what they think. I mean, when I was at my job, people would, sometimes they would say harsh things about my work, or they would say harsh things about me. Some people would. And then there were people who really liked my work. I mean, that's how it is in life. Not everyone will love you completely, and not everyone will hate you completely. So at the end, though, people are so in their world that they don't spend that much energy thinking about what you're doing as you. They don't take time to truly empathize with who you are and what you're being and what you're trying to do, and then see the world through your eyes. Usually people just look at you or look at what you're doing through their eyes and all the little filters that they built up while living their life, So their opinion is not the truth. So that's one thing that I realized quickly, that people are reacting not to you per se, not to you as a person, but they're really just reacting to their feelings and their emotions and their reactions, It really has nothing to do with you. And the earlier you realize this truth, the freer you will be, and you become really unshakable. So that's number one. Going on to number two. To become mentally stronger, you need to learn to do one thing at a time, not multitask. Now, when you're trying to get a job, all jobs basically say you need to be able to multitask, right? Yes, so here's my story. I was a freaking expert at multitasking. I mean, I have one of those brains where I can juggle many projects all at once and I can keep track of all of them all at once, you know? Hence the reason why I was so good at my job, my corporate job. But what I realized from being good at multitasking is that you never become good at anything. If you're really good at multitasking, you become mediocre in many things. You don't become skilled or become an expert in just one thing, you know? And for you to be successful in life, for you to actually build a name for yourself, or for you to be known to be good at something, you can't be good at everything. You can't be mediocre at a lot of things. That's not how you become successful. So, for example, think about any person who's successful. Steve Jobs comes to mind. Like, Steve Jobs was good at designing computer products, but he wasn't a good programmer. And he really wasn't a good, I'm going to say, CEO. I think a lot of people might say that he was a good CEO, but I don't know. My opinion is that, I think there are better CEOs out there. What he was really good at was designing computer products. It was actually designing. I mean, he had this beautiful way of combining art with product design. He made clunky looking things look really pretty and elegant even, right? So he's known for that. He's really good at that. And because he was so good at it, he became such a inspiration and he revolutionized that field. You don't become really good at something by investing your time in many different things. No, you have to invest most of your time into that one skill for you to be very good at that and to be known for that. And then another thing with multitasking is that what I noticed, the better you are at multitasking, the worse you are at focusing. And I think that's the biggest problem. People who are really good at multitasking can't seem to focus on one thing because immediately they become anxious. And I noticed that the better I got at multitasking, the more anxious I also got as well. I couldn't really sit still, because I always felt like I had something to do. So my mind would be completely scattered. I think that's what multitasking does to your brain. It trains your brain to split your attention in many different ways so that you're not completely present in one task. That's the end of the first part to this video series. I hope you found it somewhat inspiring, if not, at least thought-provoking. Also, guys, comment down below if you have tips you want to add. I'm really curious to know what worked for you. Anyway, I'll be uploading the second part to this series next week. If you're watching this video in the future, which I'm assuming most of you are because let's face it, I'm not exactly popular here alone in my little YouTube corner. I would have linked the second part right there already for your convenience. Talk to you in the next video. Regards, Ray.